Coming to you from the My Little Falls studio, here in beautiful Little Falls, New York. It's your host, Scott Kinville, and another episode of Marty's Illegal Stick.
Hey, what's up, hockey fans, and welcome to episode number 1 of season 2 of Marty's Illegal Stick, being recorded here on October 6th, 2021. It's a new season, guys. I figure, it's a new month. We're starting off October. It's a brand new hockey season starting up all over the place, so darn it, we're going to have a new season of Marty's Illegal Stick.
You know, the sad thing is I kept the numbers going.
Listen.
46.
This is, you're right.
Season
overall,
2.
You're right. It is overall 46.
Right.
But and you know what? I think we should do something special for our 50th show.
Okay.
Maybe we should get a cake.
I like that.
Do you think so?
So this is actually the 96th show I've done here.
Not for us, though.
Not for you.
Oh, in the studio?
In the studio.
So it's going to perfectly
So we're
coincide.
coming up on the 100th. I don't
Hey.
know. And I was thinking doing something, so yeah.
Can we get sparklers?
150.
Let's have sparklers in here.
100/50. That'd be perfect.
You're losing it.
Oh, very much so.
All right.
Very much so. So anyways, along with the new season, we got a lot of changes here coming. Marty'sIllegalStick.com is growing leaps and bounds. We've started writing some articles on there, trying to put a new one on every day. Doing the best I can. It's fun to put content out there,
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, no, you wouldn't. But you know what, though? I'm patterning it after My Little Falls.
Oh, that's good.
I just want to follow in your footsteps.
Thanks. Wish somebody would.
We're putting up articles about the Utica Comets, the Utica College Pioneers, ECAC local college hockey, the works. So when you get a chance, check it out. And we are also going to have our first ever contest, guys.
Nice.
Because along with all the new changes for the new season, I want to put out a weekly newsletter as to what's going on at Marty's Illegal Stick. And it's going to be an email newsletter, right? But you need to have an email list to do that.
You do.
It's kind of funny how that works. So, if you recall a while back, Kevin Shea was a guest on our show. He's the education and editorial facilitator for the Hockey Hall of Fame. He's written 19 books about hockey. The guy's a legend. And he was courteous enough to send me a copy of one of the books that he wrote,
wow.
Crossing the Line. He wrote with Derek Sanderson. And he also signed it. And he said to me, he goes, use it for whatever you want to use it for. And it kills me to have to do this, but I'm going to do it. This is going to be up for grabs. All you got to do for the month of October is enter your email address in at marty'sillegalstick.com so we can build up our email list to send out our newsletter. At the end of October, we're going to pick a random email for the winner of the book, and we will ship it to you.
MFD 22.
Well, you can do that when you get home.
Yeah.
Just put another email address in there, will you?
I watched him play in '72. So
Did you?
Yes, I remember Derek Sanderson very well.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I had a beer with him in the branding iron downtown Boston.
Really?
Yes, I did.
That is really, you never told me that.
Well, yes, I did. But
Were we having beers too, and that's why I don't remember it?
No, but what you call it? But they had just won that night. And that's when we stopped in there because I think I had like $4 in my pocket. I think it was $9 for the beer, but I didn't.
Yeah, but you were with Derek Sanderson.
But Bobby Orr bought the drinks.
No kidding.
Yes, that's a story I could tell you sometime on here.
Wow. Well, you can tell it right now if you wanted to.
Well, okay, I will. We got done. We got through. And a friend of mine had his girlfriend, and she was very good friends with some of the Bruins. So we got done. She said, well, let's go downtown. I said, okay, where are we going to go? I didn't have a hell of a lot of money in my pocket. I wasn't dressed for the occasion to go into the branding iron,
No, I'm taking it the branding iron was like a fancy bar.
It was a very nice bar, yes.
Okay.
It was owned by Bobby Orr. And the Bruins, when we first pulled into the place, they had well, back then, you wouldn't remember, but they had cigarette tipperelli, the lady walking around. It was amazing. It was just unreal. We sat there and we got a beer. Thank God Billy bought the first round because I said, what am I going to do? And
washing a lot of dishes for the rest of the night. That's what you'll be doing.
Absolutely, especially in this place. Well, she says, the Bruins are behind. There was a, you know how the doors are at the Legion, the folding doors. She said, they're back there having their dinner right now. She just got through playing. I said, okay. So, well, out they come. And there was Gary Cheevers. He was loaded because he didn't play goal that night. But anyway, they were all there. Esposito, all of them were there. And Bobby Orr and Derek Sanderson. So we turned around.
That might be him calling right now.
Yeah. So we sit there, and Bobby Orr come over, and he knew her. And she says, well, she's got a friend here. He's a big Ranger fan. He says, yes. I says, I watched them all. I says, I don't miss them. I'm still a Ranger fan, but bye-bye. I said, but congratulations on your win. And he called the waitress over, and he says, they take care of this table tonight. It's on me.
No kidding.
And so we sat there, and I said, thank God I still had my $4 when I left.
Wow.
But it was amazing.
You didn't even leave a tip.
I went into the bathroom, and right next in the stall not in the stall, but in the urinal next to me was Gary Cheevers. He was having a hell of a time. He wasn't doing too good, but it was amazing. I mean, all them Bruins in there just carrying on like normal people and they just won.
Sure.
They're advancing on. They just beat the Blues in the fourth game. So.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
yes.
Stanley Cup final then.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you did. Oh, wow.
That was 72. Yes.
No kidding.
Amazing. I'll never forget that as long as I live. And that's gospel truth.
Wow, that is a great story. Maybe we'll have to get Cheevers on to see if he remembers you.
I doubt it. I don't think he remembered himself that night.
I have one.
Oh, boy.
I showed Michael Dell where the bathroom was one time.
You saw who?
Michael Dell,
Really?
Dell Computers.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Does that equal it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wait a minute. Did Michael Dell buy a round? Then no. Gump wins.
For the evening, besides.
For the whole evening. No.
That was, I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Well, for all the changes around here, there are some things that stay the same. And that familiar voice for that great story we just heard was our co-host, Gump Kinville. That's great.
I think
I've
summer's
never
back.
heard that. I can't believe it. In the 47 years that I've been on this planet, I've never heard that story.
I can't believe you have never heard that. I've told it several times, but apparently you might have been too little when I first started telling
Must
it.
have been, or it was the voices in your head, one of the others.
I'll never forget that night as long as I live.
And the man who had the encounter with Michael Dell is our producer, Dave the Save Warner, who, by the way, before we came on the air, nearly gave himself a concussion. So the show must go on, I guess, right?
Show must go on.
How's your head feeling?
Oh, it's still there.
Well, you're not bleeding. That's the important part.
Well, I was, but yeah.
It was coming out of his mouth a minute ago.
I know. Split my lip and everything. It's it's not every day you have a drill fall on your head.
No, but you know what? Tell me it was the battery end and not the actual.
It was battery end. I tell you what, it could have been bit end. I mean, that was.
Could you imagine that if we come walking into the studio and here you got a drill just hanging out of your head?
No.
That'd have been like, Halloween's not here yet. What are you doing?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, boy. Our other usual co-host, Jeremy, the Professor Roberts, is going to try to get in here a little bit later. He's running late at work tonight, so better him than me. At least I'm not running late at work. That's oof. So hopefully he'll be here a little bit later. So, anyways, to kick this show off, so we don't have a guest this week. We had a bunch of scheduling conflicts come up. It does happen from time to time. So what we have decided to do, since the NHL season is going to be starting, next week, we're winding down preseason for the rest of this week, we have decided to sit down and do a little bit of an NHL preview show for you for this season. Basically, it's just going to be us running our mouths, making our predictions, our surprises, who's going to be good, who's going to be bad, and then we'll probably pick on each other about our picks. But that's what we do around here. And so, before we get started, I want to let everybody know that actually with the NHL, things go back to the way they were before last season. Now, if you recall last season, they jumbled up the divisions. It was intra-divisional play only in the whole works. So this year, it goes back to the old alignment. The only changes are Arizona moves over to the Central Division. And, of course, the Seattle Kraken enter, and they will be in the Pacific Division. So it goes back to the old playoff format as well. The top 3 teams in each division make the playoffs, and with 2 wild cards from each conference. Still a total of 8 teams from each conference. So we're going to go division by division, okay? And what we're going to do, since the professor's not here yet, and he's a big Rangers fan, we're going to start with the Atlantic Division. Now, I'm going to list off the names. This is all in alphabetical order. This is not order of finish from last year. So we got the Boston Bruins, your Buffalo Sabres.
Do we have to say that?
Yes, we do. Every single time.
All right.
The Detroit Red Wings, the Florida Panthers, the Montreal Canadiens, the Ottawa Senators, the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, guys, this is going to be a very competitive division this year. I mean, everybody keeps talking about the Metro. I'm looking at this Atlantic Division, and I see like a line of demarcation, right? So the top 4 teams, this is going to be a battle for those top 4 spots. And the other 3, the bottom 3, Detroit, Ottawa, and well, actually Buffalo too, in some ways have all improved. And I even say Buffalo in there because I think that their problems are going to be going away at some point, and they're going to get better, but it's just not going to be this season. So basically what it boils down to is who is going to grab those 3 playoff spots out of the Atlantic Division between the Boston Bruins, the Florida Panthers, the Montreal Canadiens, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, Gump, any thoughts on the 5 I listed there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Boston, I think they got, like we talked about before, got the one big line. Florida, I'm not even sure. Montreal is Montreal, and they've been there forever. Tampa Bay is the reigning champions, and Toronto is improving. So, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to say Tampa Bay, even though I don't want them. I don't want them there, but I think they're going to go. They'll at least make the playoffs. Put it that way.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Boston. I don't know, only because they've been around forever. And I got Derek Sanderson looking me in the face here in the book.
He's even got a cigarette hanging out.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, jeez, yeah.
He's like, remember that night over at the Branding Iron Gump?
Yeah. Florida, boy, oh boy. You want 3, right?
Give me 3.
Montreal.
Okay.
There's the 3.
Fair enough.
Boston, Montreal, and Tampa Bay.
Okay, that's fair enough. So here's mine. I'm going to go with Florida winning this division.
Oof.
I think they look fantastic on paper. I think they really do. Tampa Bay is going to finish second, but I think losing that entire third line from that Stanley Cup winning team is going to hurt. We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. You can have all the superstars on your team all you want, but if you don't have those guys that can grind it out for you and play those hard minutes where you got to protect the lead, that's going to hurt more than anything else. Tampa Bay themselves found that out because they were always that whole flashy team, all flash, no grit. And then once they started getting those gritty guys that they've lost, and not gritty in reference to the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, but once they lost those guys, or they got those guys, that's when they really started advancing in the playoffs and winning the cups. Now, for the number 3 pick, our guest from last week is not going to like this. Connor Green from the Puck Lines podcast. I'm going to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs. See, here's the thing. I mean, Toronto has got question marks. They really do. I'm not so sure about their goaltending. I mean, they let Freddie Anderson walk, and they brought in Pete Mrazek, who is the definition of the streaky goaltender. And they've also got Jack Campbell there, who played very admirably for them last year, but I just wonder if all that's for real. However, I also think that this team, especially this year, has got to prove something. Something has got to give there. Because with all that top-end talent that they have, and don't forget, this is probably going to be the last year they have Morgan Riley, their star defenseman, because he hits unrestricted free agency after this season. And simply put, no matter what, the Maple Leafs aren't going to have the cap space to pay him. So I think this is the year.
I like Toronto too, but boy.
I'm not saying they're going to get out of the first round of the playoffs. I'm just saying they're going to make it.
No, that's right. That's just said who's going to make it.
Right.
Because unbeknown, when we get done with this, I'm going to take this home. I'm going to put this away someplace.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
I'm going to hold on to this, so at the end of the year, I'm going to go, na-na-na-na-na-na, or I won't bring it. I'll use it for toilet paper.
I was going to say, you better check your recycling better.
Yeah. No, but I am going to hang on to this.
No, that's a good idea. I mean,
I wish Jeremy was here so I could do something, put...
Why?
See what he says.
You started just so I could put and then put what?
No,
smiley face.
I had to put something on. I don't know what a circle or something for.
Well, see what I'm doing is I'm putting 1, 2, 3 next to my picks.
Oh,
right, and then I got WC next to my wild card picks. Well, we'll do those after we do the two divisions of the conference.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that way we don't confuse ourselves. Our listeners are probably already going, "What are these guys talking about?" But that's okay.
Yeah. They're not looking at the same things we are, I guess.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, I think Buffalo is going to improve slightly. I think Detroit's going to make some really good leaps and bounds, as is Ottawa. I'm going to tell you right now that Montreal is not one of my picks to make the playoffs. As fun as that was watching them make that run to the finals last year, I think there was a lot of smoke and mirrors, to be honest with you. And I just don't see them being built as a team that can do that again. Now, of course, Carey Price is still a top 5 goaltender in this league, and everybody knows what happens when a goaltender gets hot. Anything can happen. But on paper and in this division, to make the playoffs, I think that they're going to be awful hard-pressed to repeat what they did. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And the entire province of Quebec can be mad at me. That's okay. Okay, well, sorry, Professor, he's not here yet, but we're going to move on to the Metropolitan Division.
I could weigh in.
You what? Yeah, well.
I could weigh in.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think Brady's going to score at least 50 goals this year with Tampa Bay. Oh, wait.
Well, you know, there is actually a Brady in that division. Brady to Chuck.
Let's go to Metropolitan.
For the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, no, Tampa Bay, Boston, and Toronto.
Okay.
So I would go with.
It's a safe pick.
Yeah.
It's a safe pick.
Yeah.
But I think Florida is going to make a lot of noise in that division. You watch. I'll be wrong. Completely wrong about that, because I'll tell you what.
That's why I went with what I went.
The one question mark about Florida is going to be their goaltending, to be honest with you. I mean, Spencer Knight was fantastic. He was a fantastic rookie last year.
Who's yelling when you said Boston, Toronto, and who?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
And the reverse order that you just gave, I said Tampa Bay.
Well, I don't care about the order.
Boston. Well, yeah. That's who I'm doing it in order of who I think.
Oh, see.
Yeah, see,
Well,
I was
listen.
trying to do a little bit more fancy.
Well, no, he hangs out with the guy who, started Dell Computers. So, I mean, what do you expect?
Mr. Analytical over here.
Either that or he's got a concussion. I don't know which one.
Yeah. There you go.
I saw a couple of stars flying around his head. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be. I can do that. Do we have stars? We do.
There it is. No, I think that the one question mark for Florida is going to be, will their goaltending hold up? Sergei Bobrovsky, who has signed a huge contract a couple years ago to be their number one, simply hasn't been that good for them since he got there. And Spencer Knight, their highly touted rookie, was fantastic for them last season. But for some reason, I can never trust second-year goalies because they always seem to hit that sophomore slump. I don't know what it is. It just always seemed to happen. And if Knight does hit that, then Bobrovsky's going to have to step up because Chris Drager, who was also a backup there, is now gone. So if there's going to be anything that derails that Panther train, it's going to be the goaltending. But I got faith that it'll hold up. Let's just say that. All right, on to the Metropolitan Division. The Metropolitan Division is made up of the Carolina Hurricanes, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the New Jersey Devils, the New York Islanders, your New York Rangers, Philadelphia Flyers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Washington Capitals. Gump, what say you?
Boy, oh boy. I can't stand Columbus. Carolina.
And I like how he does this, who I can't stand for.
I know, right?
The Hurricanes are going to make it, much as I hate to say that. The New York Rangers is going to make it. I think they're going to make it this year. But boy, and I'm going to give you one. All these other teams have been wild. Pittsburgh, Washington, New Jersey. I'm going to go with the Islanders.
Okay.
Those are the three, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll tell you who my three are. I got the Islanders winning the division. I think they're just too strong top to bottom. They're a complete team. Carolina's going to come in second place. There's way too much talent on that team to miss the playoffs, despite all the, we did an offer sheet for Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and we're going to make a huge deal about that, and all their, storm surge and all that. On ice, there's just too much talent. In third place, I have your New York Rangers.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I think this is the year.
So do I.
I think that actually, I got to give credit where credit is due in the fact that the Rangers did a smart thing last year, and they let their kids play.
Well, the thing, like you just said earlier, who would you talk about? The team is going to make it, but you're not going to guarantee Florida. You're not going to guarantee them to make any higher up. Same thing with the Rangers. They're going to get there, and it's got to be hot goaltending to take them any farther or whatever. I mean,
right.
they got the core, but they're young, they're growing, they got to learn. But as long as they just break in this year, I think it's going to be a great thing for them.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. And I think, like I said, they did a very smart thing by letting K'Andre Miller play last year instead of burying him in Hartford. They let Alexei Lafreniere get his feet wet at the NHL level, a very smart thing to do. I also like the fact that they did bring some grit in because they needed it. They really do. I still think they could have got more for Pavel Buchnevich, but that's my opinion and whatever. Igor Shesterkin is obviously the real deal. As much as, I like to bust chops about it because Ranger fans get so fired up about that. It's so fun. But no, I have to give credit where credit's due. He is the real deal. The one thing that they did not do that I really don't like was they still didn't get enough help down the middle. I think that if you're going to be a serious playoff contender, you have to be strong down the middle, which they're simply not. If there's an Achilles heel, there it is.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I hate to admit with you, but
I mean, if anything, I mean they've got prospects to pull off a deal to try to get stronger down the middle. Here's my question for you.
in time.
In time, but I mean, it's kind of like the same thing, the boat that the Kings are in right now. You have almost too many prospects, and you just simply don't have enough spots for them to play. So you have to eventually be willing to move some to improve your team now, right? But I got a question for you as a Ranger fan. So they said that they will name a team captain this year.
Oh, boy.
Who should it be?
Wow. Everybody's saying Kreider. And
Panarin's come right out and said he doesn't want
oh,
it.
I know. Panarin ain't going to be it, no. And I'm thinking Fox, maybe. But I guess I'll have to go with Kreider. Probably be Kreider. And I'm not 100%.
Really? Why not?
I don't know. He's hot and cold to me. But maybe that'll make him hot.
Right.
To be the captain, maybe because that's what he needs.
Well, I think he's the longest tenured Ranger, isn't he? He's been there the longest out of all of them. I mean, there was also talk about possibly Zibanejad going in as captain. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's a great teammate. Everybody loves him.
Yes.
But you got to be careful because he could be gone at the end of the season too.
Not only that, Zibanejad, don't put that much pressure on him. There's a lot of work to be the captain. Let him get his game and play his game. That's what they need to do. Not make him a captain and put too much stuff on his shoulders. Don't do that.
Right.
So that's why I'm going with Kreider, only because he's been there for so long.
Yeah,
I like the idea of Fox, but same scenario.
Well,
because they're already putting so much accolades on him because he was,
Right.
Yes.
He's obviously a great defenseman, but let's see him do it,
Again,
a couple years in a row.
Yep.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
So.
And plus, the thing is too. I mean, we can talk about this till we're blue in the face, but we're not inside the Ranger locker room. We don't know how it is, the chemistry inside of there, really. So, I mean,
and not only that,
this is doing what we do best: run our mouths.
You said earlier, it's still preseason.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Once it starts, now the cards are on the table.
Hey, you know what? I just thought of something. Now that we're talking about the Rangers, we should get a pool going right now. Opening night's October 12th. The Rangers and the Capitals are playing. How long will it be before Tom Wilson and Ryan Reeves drop the gloves?
Oh, before the game starts.
I'm going 2 minutes in.
60 seconds.
I'm going 2 minutes.
60 seconds.
I'm going to say before the game starts.
Okay.
All right, that's good.
I'll buy the dressing rooms.
Yeah. Well, no, I won't go that far. Be on the ice because the fans want to see that.
Yeah.
No, it'll be like those WWE matches.
Yeah.
Falls count anywhere.
I think it's going to be before the game starts. They're going to get ready to drop the puck. They're going to be dropping their gloves.
I think so. I don't think that's going to take long at all for that little tinderbox to blow up there. All right, so we got our 3 divisional playoff spots. We got 2 wild cards we got to pick from.
Oh, boy.
Now, listen, you can pick 2 from the same division. You can pick 1 from each division. It doesn't matter. It's just got to be 2 wild card spots from the Eastern Conference, which is the 2 teams that make up, or the 2 divisions, the Metro and the Atlantic. So, who's getting in on a wild card?
Because we got our season tickets for the Utica Devils, or Utica Comets, but the Devil organization, I'm going to go wild card New Jersey.
Okay, there's 1.
Oh, boy. I'll go wild card Toronto.
Okay.
Because I didn't pick them before, so.
Fair enough. So, you know what? That New Jersey pick that you just made is actually very intriguing. Because if there is a team this offseason that did a lot to improve themselves, it's the New Jersey Devils. They really did. I don't think they're quite there yet. Although they do have a lot of cap space available, which is a rarity in the NHL these days. So, to be perfectly honest with you, if they're in the hunt by the trade deadline, they're a team that could actually pull off a trade to get a big name in to help push them over the edge.
That's what I was thinking about with the Rangers with the center spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you,
right.
tri-state area hockey is going to be awesome over the next few years between the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Devils. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
I'm looking very forward to it, actually. But yeah, I don't have the Devils as my wild card pick, but people can laugh all they want, but that could actually very well happen. Get on a hot streak. Like I said, they're an improved team. You never know. My wild card picks are from the Metro. I got the Washington Capitals. This is kind of their last stand as far as I can see. This team has aged before our eyes.
Yeah.
And they really have done nothing to get younger. They do have a couple of prospects that are coming through, namely Connor McMichael, excuse me, and Hendrix LaPerriere.
Not Connor McDavid.
I almost said that.
I knew you were going to say that. It's like, it's Connor McDavid. He's in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have definitely been celebrating that 50th episode a little bit too early.
Yeah.
What was in that cake?
I thought we wrote off Washington, didn't we already? Wait.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
well, and so did Jeremy.
But the thing of it is,
I didn't know.
Washington has been a good hockey team for a number of years.
Yeah.
I'm not saying tremendous, great, but they've been a good hockey team. They've always come forward when they had to come forward.
Right.
So
right. And I think that this is their last stand right here. I
agree with you.
I think once after this season's over, unless they make some drastic changes, you're just going to kind of see them kind of
go out the wayside.
fall the other way. My other wild card pick is the Boston Bruins. Way too much talent on that team to miss. I just think with that Atlantic Division, especially if it starts trending towards like a speed game, Boston isn't as fast as the Florida Panthers. They're not as fast as the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're not as fast as the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the one question I have about the Boston Bruins is the same one I had about the New York Rangers. Where's their center depth? With David Krejci leaving to go back to the Czech Republic, now they got Charlie Coyle in as their second-line center. And to me, I like Charlie Coyle. He's a good player, but he's also, at best, a third-liner, right? And, if you're going to be a serious playoff contender, you can't have him in as your second-line center. The other thing with me for Boston is how much longer is the perfection line going to be able to do this? Patrice Bergeron is going to turn 37 this season. I think it's 37. Marchand's going to be 34. Pasternak's still very young. By the way, Pasta is one of my favorite players. I just love the guy. You ever watch his Dunkin' Donuts commercials?
No. But as the season wears on, too, you're talking about Marchand and the other one there. As the season wears on, it's going to take their toll on these two guys.
It sure is. That's the whole thing.
Especially, like I said earlier, there's a lot of younger players today, and they got some speed. And have those guys try to stay up on them. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, too much talent in Boston to not make the playoffs. But, excuse me, I think you're kind of like in the same, like a combination of the faults that the Rangers have and the Capitals have. So, and not to mention, no Tuukka Rask, so Linus Ullmark is going to have to carry the load. I don't think Jeremy Swayman is going to be their number one. Obviously, they gave Ullmark a 5-year contract, so it'll be interesting to see. So, that said, I left the Philadelphia Flyers out. I wasn't impressed with what I saw last season, and the moves that they made really didn't overly impress me for this season. And guess who else I left out? If you notice.
Philadelphia.
No.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
The Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Penguins. I think this is the end. It's almost like a running joke, right? You never bet against Sidney Crosby because it was like when Tom Brady was with the Patriots. No matter how many times you think they're down and out, they always found a way to win. Crosby's going to miss the beginning of the season. Evgeny Malkin's going to miss the 2 months this season. I just see that team as, they've tried to keep that Stanley Cup window open for years by trading away young talent, bringing in talent that's going to help them right now. And I just honestly think that this is the point now where it's finally going to catch up.
Yeah, I think it burned them, what they did.
I think, they'll contend. They'll contend, but I can't see them making it, especially that Eastern Conference is brutal. There is a lot of competition in that conference. And frankly, I don't see it happening. So, but we'll see. So we got our playoff spots set for the Eastern Conference. Why don't we shift gears and head out west, shall we? We'll be like Clark W. Griswold. We'll get in the family truckster and we'll head west. We're going to Wally World now.
Yeah.
I can't help it. Maddie was watching that movie the other day and just brought back all kinds of great memories.
You were watching that?
I was. I love the part with the moose. Sorry, folks. Probably when people listen to the show are thinking right now, sorry.
The moose is loose.
The moose out front should have told you.
Yeah.
He beat me, boss. He beat me.
Stop.
So anyways, let's start with the Central Division. The Central Division this year is made up of the Arizona Coyotes, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, the Minnesota Wild, the Nashville Predators, the St. Louis Blues, and the Winnipeg Jets. Gump, what do you think?
Boy. Who do I think is going to make the playoffs, right, in this division?
Your top three.
I'm going to go with St. Louis.
Okay.
Oh, boy. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Wild. And I just like them. I'm going to go with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Wow.
I know you can't stand them, but
Oh, no, that's wow.
I just like Chicago. It's just
Man.
why I don't know. I guess I just don't know the Central Division as well as I do.
I was just going to say, are you planning on taking like $100 up to the casino and saying, okay, here it is?
It's a wonder he didn't pick Buffalo for the Eastern Division.
Now you're getting crazy.
He did get a concussion, didn't he?
I guess so. Boy, now he's getting stupid on me. No, I should say he was a very smart man.
Oh, boy. All right. So my top three for this division are the Colorado Avalanche, number 1, the Winnipeg Jets, number 2, and the Dallas Stars, number 3. It's going to be a tight
Holy
division.
mackerel.
That's for sure. It's going to be a tight division. Colorado is the class of that division. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I was just watching them at your house, so they're getting clobbered.
That's preseason, though.
Okay.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't matter.
Count.
That doesn't matter. Come on. I mean, they had the big change in goalies. Philip Grubauer is gone, and Darcy Kemper replaced him. But, if you ask me, Darcy Kemper is right on the same level as he is, as Grubauer was. So I don't really think that they miss a beat there.
We got six different teams right there.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's amazing.
Somebody's going to be right out of this. You know this.
Oh, boy, I'm going to lose on this one. I think.
This is us hedging our bets right here.
Did I tell you I may not have a son by the time the end of the season?
I've heard that fight song before.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, boy. The Winnipeg Jets at number 2. This is a team that everybody sleeps on. Everybody sleeps on the Winnipeg Jets, but I'll tell you, this is a solid team. From top to bottom, really, too. They thought that when, Trouba left to go to the Rangers, excuse me. They thought that when,
I thought it was me. I'm looking around.
I know. I thought it was
What
too.
did I-
I'm like,
what
wait
did
a
I
minute.
do?
Oh, no, it's my pager.
Yeah.
So anyways, when Trouba left to go to the Rangers, they were like, oh, my God, they're done. When Bufflin retired, they're done. Well, Neil Pionk has stepped up rather nicely for them. Josh Morrissey has played solid for them. And their top 6 is dynamite. They got a great top 6. And I like Connor Hellebuck to have a nice little rebound year this year as well. Number 3, the Dallas Stars. They're finally healthy. They got Tyler Seguin back. Jamie Benn is healthy. He's been playing banged up for the past couple of years. They got a great defense core led by Miro Heiskanen and John Klingberg, and they've got about 5 different goalies that they can choose from this year, which is kind of unusual for an NHL roster, but that's the way the Stars decided to do it. So, but like I said, this is a very tight division. This is going to go down to the wire. But those are going to be my top 3 ultimately. So let's go to the Pacific Division, shall we? And the Pacific Division is made up of the Anaheim Ducks, the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, the Los Angeles Kings, the San Jose Sharks, the Seattle Kraken, the Vancouver Canucks, and the Vegas Golden Knights. I didn't know you were a big Kraken fan.
It's just the name.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's...
But
Yeah.
But it's only preseason, but they're hot right now.
You know what you need to get? You need to get a Kraken hat with like the tentacles coming out of it. That would be amazing. And especially when you're working here, so the drill will bounce off the tentacles instead of your head.
I tell you what, if you put a hat like that up on here, they think it was a moose and they try and shoot me.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Put something like that on him.
No, it's Marty Moose.
He looked like Medusa. You kidding me?
It's not Dave the Save anymore, Dave the Moose.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. What do you think?
Oh, boy. I knew you were going to nail me with this one. To me, Vancouver is definitely out. Seattle, they're hot right now, but it's preseason. I think they're out. San Jose, Los Angeles, Edmonton. Well, Edmonton's definitely going to make it because they got the number one guy in the whole National Hockey League.
And the number 3 guy.
Yeah, well, okay. Boy, I kind of like the Calgary Flames. Man, much as I hate to say it, no, I can't go in Vegas. I just can't do it. San Jose, maybe, but I haven't followed the Pacific teams in a long time. How the hell would I'll go to Vegas? I don't know because I don't know the other teams.
Okay.
I know the 2 of them ain't going to make it, but
All right.
what do I know? I know your Kings. I like your Kings, but
Oh, well, thanks for saying that. You're all heart.
I didn't pick them. But they're
Well, at least you said you liked them. Must be you forgive them for 2014.
never mind. You're along now.
Here we go.
There we go. Where's the ding, ding, ding?
And you wonder why, huh, Dave? You wonder why.
Here we go.
Oh, boy. So
If his
for...
mother was alive, I'd go home and slap her.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Yeah. And here we go. So for the Pacific Division, I got the Vegas Golden Knights winning it, as much as it pains me to say that. The Edmonton Oilers are going to finish in second. When you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the same team, it's kind of hard not to. But I will say this for Edmonton, they didn't do enough in this offseason. Their defense is still Swiss cheese, and their starting goaltender is going to be 40.
And they're relying too much on Connor and the other guy, yeah.
It's just too much can go wrong there. But there's enough talent on that team, and frankly, the Pacific Division is weak. So that's going to help them too. And you know what? I am going to be a homer, and I am going to say the Los Angeles Kings are going to take that 3rd playoff spot simply because this division is weak and is wide open. And you know what? It's up for grabs. So
I thought you were going to go with the Kraken because of that.
no, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what. If you look at a lot of these, the preseason models where analytics get involved with this big time, right? And they look, oh, well, this guy did this at 5, and all these players they drafted. Some of these sites have got the Kraken winning the division, finishing second. And I think what's happening is people don't want to get burned again like they did with Vegas.
Right.
Because
Well, that's why I thought you were going to pick them.
No.
Okay.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't do that. I don't think that Seattle did enough like what Vegas did
Right.
in their first year to build their roster.
Okay.
Seattle's building long term. It's a smart move. It's a very smart move, but they're not building to win this year. And so I can tell you right now they're not going to be my wild card pick either.
All right.
So
Well, darn.
forget that. You're going to be alone with your Kraken hat.
Now, I like being alone with it.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. But I'll tell you what, when we come in the studio next week, it wouldn't surprise you if there's like a Kraken thing hanging from the ceiling. Lowers it down like a disco ball.
I'll be throwing Kraken on the ice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or on the table.
Yeah.
Splat. Great.
Lunch.
Dave, can you get an air freshener here?
We can do that. It's called calamari.
No. Not quite. All right, so Gumper,
Yep.
got to pick 2 wild cards. Same thing as the Eastern Conference.
And I'm going to. I picked them earlier after I made my decisions with who I picked. In the, I'm going to go with the Central. I'm going to say the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pick one for the Pacific as the Los Angeles Kings.
Ah, see? We can get along after all. How do you like that?
As a wild card.
So much love.
That's all right. Just got to get in the playoffs.
That's
Once
true.
you get in, anything
That's
can
true.
happen.
That's true.
Okay.
True. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep.
So my wild cards, and I'm going to preface this by saying there's a lot of experts out there that are picking the 2 wild cards that come out of the Central, nothing from the Pacific. Me, I think that the Pacific Division being kind of weak is going to help those teams to actually get a few extra points that you normally wouldn't get as opposed to the Central, which is a much tougher division. So with that said, my wild card picks are the Minnesota Wild. Another solid team. It's just, if it was 4 teams that are going to make playoffs out of the division, fine. But anyways, and out of the Pacific, I'm going to go with the Vancouver Canucks. Last year was a complete disaster for them. It was.
Wow.
But this team has talent. They do. They have
They
a
haven't
lot
impressed
of.
me yet so far. I know
They
it's
have-
preseason.
It's preseason, but I mean, last year was just a nightmare for them when they had to take, lost half their team to COVID, and nothing worked. But I have faith in former Utica Comic coach Travis Green. I think he's going to turn this around. And I like what they did. So those are my 2 wild card picks.
There you go.
So let's close this segment by picking our picks for the Stanley Cup final.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that one. Oh.
What do you think? I'm saying throw darts. Who's going to be in the final?
I'm working on it. I'm thinking. Jeez, good Lord, have mercy. I got to look at this again. Yeah, I know.
I don't have that sound available, but I wanted to play it.
Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And
LA?
oh, Tampa Bay, and I'm going to say Colorado.
Okay. That would be a dream come true for the NHL, no doubt. 2 very popular teams like that. Here's my preseason pick. I'm going to go with the Islanders and the Winnipeg Jets. And just to watch the 2 of the not so popular teams making the first year of the big contract deal. Got to have some chaos in there, right? With the Islanders winning it, by the way. I think the Islanders are going to win it. I'm probably wrong. But, so anyways, that was fun.
I'm not picking who's going to win because I don't. Do I have to pick who wins it too, I think?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Colorado.
All right. So we got the Islanders and who do you think's going to win?
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I think they're going to repeat.
You're going to be a 3-peater, huh?
Yep.
I thought sure he was going to say
I thought he was going to say Seattle, too. I was waiting for it. That's why I asked him.
No.
I was waiting for it.
I thought sure.
And I surprised you with an intelligent guess.
I couldn't believe it. Every once in a while, you know?
Every once in a while. I am listeting.
Yes, the young Jedi over here.
Yes, I am, Master.
I look at my sheep. Poor Seattle ain't got nothing near it. I got writing all over this thing. No,
Oh, boy.
Mark it down, Dad.
Yeah.
You know, you said you were going to put that in the drawer. Mark it down. Dave picked Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he's busy writing.
Got it.
Look at that.
Look at that.
And let's make a bet on this. If one of us wins, then you guys got to buy the other one like a hat of their favorite team.
I'm in.
Yep.
Yep.
That
No
we'll
problem.
wear on the air.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm in
yep.
on that.
All
Yeah.
right. I like it.
You better. I want a copy of that then.
Yeah. You better scan that.
Just scan that thing in and save it.
Wins.
Hat.
And it can't be a top hat either. Okay?
I got one. I got.
Why does that not surprise me?
I got one.
Were you wearing it that night in Boston?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't get it till I got down to New York one year.
Get you a My Little Falls hat.
Yeah, there you go. A top hat. My little false top hat.
Yeah. I could do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool though.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, like I said, that was a lot of fun. So let's roll to our commercial break, and we're going to end this segment like we always do with Breakaway Trivia. Breakaway Trivia is brought to you by friend of the show, Jimmy the Iceman McNeil's children's book, The Red and White Zamboni Ice Machine. You can order your copy by emailing Jimmy at mac_iceman@hotmail.com, and we have that at Marty's Illegal Stick. You can look at that there, too. So anyways, the Breakaway Trivia question this week is, what was the original name of the Detroit Red Wings? The answer when we come back.
Visit My Little Falls and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the city and the area. Our mission is to generate interest in the community and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our country music streaming radio station, or sign up for our weekly newsletter. Stop by today at mylittleFalls.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm telling you, listen to that. I'm just thinking that when we start segment 2, we should get some dry ice in here and have the smoke coming through.
I looked for those smoke machines on Amazon. They're not that expensive.
See? There we go.
They have a thing called smoke oil you put in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like,
It's not that bad.
But see, you'd run in here with a hose trying to put the damn thing out.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Just as long as you warn me ahead of time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, though. That would be it.
He'd be calling 911.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So, segment 2, we're going to start it off by reading our breakaway trivia question one more time. And the question was, what was the original name of the Detroit Red Wings? Dave the Save, what do you think it was?
You know what? I was trying to think about that. I have no idea. I actually don't. And I'm old enough to where I should know something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I don't.
okay. Well, they didn't have the internet back then, so.
I did watch hockey back then.
I don't think it was on TV back then either.
Well, no, my dad was in the back with a bicycle pedaling it to get electricity. So yeah.
With the spinning wheel.
Yeah. No, that was my mother. She was spinning. Yeah. Anyway.
That's where he got his clothes.
Yeah. That's where the top hat came from.
No, I'm still wearing the same outfit. Anyway.
Gumper, what do you think?
The Detroit Wheels.
Nope.
Okay.
Really?
0 for 1.
It was, well,
Here we go. New season, new score.
but that's
No
okay.
change.
But at least it's only 0 for 1 now.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Detroit Cougars.
Okay. Did not know
Really?
that.
Yeah.
Cougars.
They went from the Cougars to the Falcons to the Red Wings.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that wheel with the cars and everything.
Yeah. So, pretty cool. Next time you hear that, now you'll know.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
I didn't think so. Oh, boy. So, happy birthday.
I'm going with the Detroit Wheels. Well, anybody said, no, go ahead.
Yeah, well, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. Is
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm thinking. That's
See?
exactly what I was thinking, yes.
Devil with the blue dress on?
Yep.
Dave made it home? Yeah. So happy birthday to both Mario Lemieux and Patrick Waugh. The two Hall of Famers turned 56th on October 5th.
Wow.
It doesn't seem possible. It really doesn't, that they're 56. But it's true.
True.
I bet you they had a heck of a party if they were together.
Well, I guess so.
Well, we're getting into Olympic season, boys, and names are already being submitted for national Olympic teams for the 2022 Games. Sweden has sent in Mika Zibanejad, Victor Hedman, and Gabriel Landeskog, while Canada has submitted Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, and Alex Pietrangelo. No surprises there. Team USA has yet to announce their first three. I'm going to give you a list of names here, okay? And we'll pick who we think they're going to be. So, reach for my trusty clipboard here. I went old school.
Would you just put that down there or what?
I did.
Yeah, all right.
So you got Austin Matthews, Adam Fox, Connor Hellebuck, Quinn and Jack Hughes, Jack Eichel, Patrick Kane, John Carlson, Max Pacioretty, Zach Werenski, and Seth Jones.
Jeez.
So I'll tell you who I think it's going to be. Obviously, it's going to be Austin Matthews. He's the biggest American star out there right now. Not a doubt in my mind. Patrick Kane, for sure.
Mix it up. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go.
It's Patrick Kane because he's actually the oldest one on this list. Can you believe that? I had a hard time believing
Was
that.
he like 21?
No, he's 32.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem possible. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw one out there.
Throw Eichel in there. Come on.
No, I can't.
You can't do it?
I
All
can't
right.
do it.
Man.
I think it's going to be Max Pacioretty. I think there's going to be a nod to him because he's another veteran that's been around for a while, has accomplished a lot in his career, and I think that they're going to kind of throw him the bone, so to speak. And
Yeah. Honor him.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys disagree with that, or
I went with Kane. I went with Kane. I went with Fox.
yeah?
And I went with Matthews. But
I'll tell you, I thought about Fox. I really did. And the only thing I was thinking was that whole, because when you're talking about national teams, they tend to lean towards the guys who have been around for a while.
Yeah.
To kind of, I mean, it's not to say that Fox, I'm sure, is going to be on the team. This is simply the first three that have been announced. So it's not, we're going to play 3-on-3 with no line changes.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to work like that.
yeah, well, good guy.
So, but anyways, yeah. So I mean, I think it's pretty reasonable to expect all that. Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson have ended their holdouts and re-signed in Vancouver. Pettersson is getting $7.35 million per season for 3 years, while Hughes is getting $7.85 million per season for 6 years, which leaves Brady Tkachuk as the lone high-profile free agent left-wing left. What do we think of the Vancouver deals, and what will Tkachuk get?
I just can't get over the amount of money these guys are getting today.
You know what's really crazy about that is the Vancouver deals are lowball deals.
Jeez.
Both of those guys could have got more. They really could have. Especially Hughes, because defensemen right now are raking in huge money. Huge money. And he's 21 years old. So now they gave him 6 years for money less than what he's really probably could make. But the key for him is he's going to hit unrestricted free agency at the end of this contract. Whereas Pettersson, since it's only 3 years and with his age, is still going to be restricted. So I think that's probably why Hughes took a little bit of a haircut, so to speak. But I think that they were certainly generous with Vancouver management.
It just drives me crazy. How much money are these owners making if they're paying that kind of money? Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
I know TV deals and all that.
I think it's television, which is really.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like ticket sales and things like that, and it's television.
No, but they got to be making a lot of money off that too. You know, I just can't get over that. I must be living in a fantasy world. I guess I don't know.
We're living in the real world.
Yeah, they're in the fantasy world.
We're not part of the fantasy world. I got news for you.
Well, Brady Tkachuk of the Ottawa Senators is holding out. He wants a bridge deal, which is a 2 to 3 year deal to get him to unrestricted free agency, whereas the Senators want him to sign a long-term deal, and neither side is budging right now. Honestly, I think if you're Ottawa, give him what he wants for right now, because that team is actually improving, and you never know. They might actually be decent in 3 years, and he may want to come back and say, oh, okay, well, this team's pretty good. I mean, you can't have this distraction holding over your head. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. And it's not good for the player. It's not good for the team. I mean, there's obviously, he's going to make money anyways, either way, right? So if I were the Senators, I would actually cave on this one and say, all right, we'll give you we'll give you Pettersson money. We'll give you that. We'll give you that contract that he signed. And then if he, says no, well, then now you got a real problem. But I think that's ultimately what he wants, is the short-term contract to try to get him to his next big money deal. Speaking of big money, now you're going to like this part, Dave. It involves your favorite player.
You're not going to put Tom Wilson on me, are you? Jeez.
I can't do that. I can't. That's reserved. It's a special spot in Jeremy's heart.
Jeremy's not here because of that. He knows I'll run the banner again, right?
He's holding out.
Should we run it in his honor?
He wants a long-term deal that banner's gone. That's what
I know. Yeah, he's holding out.
Oh, boy. As expected, Jack Eichel failed his physical with the Sabres and has been stripped of his captaincy. It turns out that per the collective bargaining agreement, the teams, that is, the NHL teams, have the final say over medical procedures involving players, and the two sides are at a standstill over the next step in how to treat Eichel's neck injury. If you recall, the Sabres want him to have a fusion surgery, whereas Eichel wants this experimental disc replacement that hasn't been done on any NHL player yet. So Eichel's agent is reportedly now trying to help the Sabres find a trade partner for him. So my question for you guys is, should the Sabres just take what they can get? Or should they say, no, we have your contract for the next 5 years. We're going to hang on to you, and we want to get closer to what we originally wanted as in trade for you. What should they do?
I'd get rid of him. I'd take it. If his agent can help him find a trade partner, yeah. Give it to us, and you run along now.
But what I'm saying is there's going to be teams that I'm sure will be willing to trade for him, but at a very, very, very discounted rate. Rightfully so. I mean, they've strung this out so far now, he's probably going to miss this season.
Yeah,
or most of it. Mm-hmm. Or most of it.
I don't know, and I don't care. I really don't. They can do whatever they want. Because it's going to be a joke.
Well,
it's going to be a laugh.
It is.
Giving the NHL a black eye. It
is. You're right. But, I mean, of course, Twitter is Twitter. You're going to see that all, And there's all there's a, that says, well, it's his body. He has the right to do whatever surgery he wants, which, yes, that is true. but it's also in the collective bargaining agreement, and it's spelled out very clearly that teams have the final say over what surgeries players will get when they're dealing with injuries that were occurred playing hockey. Mm-hmm. And the Sabres don't want this fusion surgery, this disc replacement done. So there's really nowhere else to go with this. If he adamantly refuses to get that fusion surgery like he says he is, and the Sabres say, no, we don't want you getting this disc replacement, I don't know how much. I think that the Sabres have to get rid of him in short fashion. They need to get past this, get this over with, because right now it's just hanging over the franchise, right? It's like
That's
a storm cloud that won't go away.
Yes.
It's
holding over the NHL too. Everybody's looking at
right.
this.
You're right. And the problem is with him making $10 million a year, not any team can just take him on, even at a discounted rate as far as what they'll take back for prospects and stuff like that. You still got to have the cap space to bring him in. I've actually heard Anaheim as a team that has jumped up that's very interested in getting Jack Eichel.
Yeah, but what are they going to do with him if you can't play? It's still the same rule on the surgery, right?
It is.
So, and if he refuses, why would they be interested?
Well, if you're going to take him on, excuse me, you have to be willing to let him get the surgery that he wants. You have to.
Okay. All right.
So there's that.
Well, if he switches, he wouldn't have that same agreement.
Yes, he would. Oh, because it's a league-wide. It's the NHL's collective bargaining. Yeah. So this was negotiated by the players' union. This isn't an individual contract thing. This is in the standard NHL contract.
Well, we've seen where players' unions have screwed up before, right?
Do you think?
Yeah, a couple of times here and there.
But don't forget, it's in Anaheim. You got a lot of plastic surgeons out there who can make them look like they got a new neck.
Hollywood, right? Yeah.
Hollywood. Right?
I don't think he's worried about his looks.
Well, no.
I mean, both of them sound dangerous.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would be terrified to go under any surgery for my neck.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think Buffalo can turn around and say, well, here, give us a 5th-round pick for him, and he's yours. But they also are on this, though, they want either 4 first-round picks or the equivalent of in prospects. They're going to have to come down from that. There's just no way now that they're ever going to get anything like that.
Well, especially if they're looking at him maybe sitting out this year because now it's been delayed so long.
Right.
It doesn't matter what kind of surgery, he's not playing.
Now, if a team acquires him, they can put him on what they call long-term injured reserve, which basically means the team that acquires him can go over the cap by $10 million. Okay. That's how that accommodates, right, for long-term
the amount
injuries.
For him, yeah.
So there's a win there. That's, I think that if Buffalo were to get, say, a first-round pick and a mid to high-end prospect, that would be acceptable. I would take that in a heartbeat to get it all, just get this over with, because it's never going to be the same again. Even if the Sabres were to turn around tomorrow and say, you know what, Jack, we changed our minds. You go ahead and get the surgery that you want, and let's just put this all behind us.
Yeah, too much
damage.
Too much.
Way
bad
too
blood.
much.
Yep.
Way too much. So, no, I think that's what they're going to end up having to do. And I think the sooner they do that, the better. And get some young players in there that want to be there, that are hungry to play in the NHL, and start over.
Yeah.
Start over. Why not, right? Well, I'm glad we can all agree on that. I can't believe the amount of agreement that's going on in this show today. This is amazing.
Earlier, Dad was going to beat you up.
Yeah, but he says that at least once.
Already, right?
He says that at least once an hour. Don't worry about it.
He forgot it already. He's all
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Rangers won, Devils nothing. Just let you know.
But remember, it's preseason.
Preseason. Who cares?
I do. The Rangers.
Oh, boy. So let's end this segment with Website of the Week like we always do, shall we? Website of the Week is brought to you by 315hockey.com. 315hockey.com is your news hub for all levels of hockey in Central New York. This week's Website of the Week is wejustscored.com. This is a really fun site. I have it on my phone. So it has the goal horns for all the NHL teams, and you click on it, and it plays the horn and their goal song. I'm telling you, we're going to have to hook that up.
That's pretty cool.
It is. It's awesome. I'll show it to you afterwards.
All right.
So, but we'll have to somehow incorporate that into the show.
We can do that.
And you know what's got on there? It's got the brass bonanza. It's so exciting. The Hartford Whalers, dun, 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 dun.
I wish I'd known that ahead of time. And you know what kind of level of effort I went through to put that horn into your video?
Really?
To find that. Yeah, I did. I had to search all over to find that.
All you had to do was ask me.
Yeah, but I wanted to hit you with it without you knowing,
yeah. Well, you could have said, "Look, listen, I'm trying to add a new element to the show."
Yeah, I'm trying to put score horn.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Well, you did.
I did.
Did a fine job of it too. Way to go.
Yeah.
Let's go to our last commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to take a ride on that Zamboni Time Machine. We'll see you in a minute.
Need to find that gift for someone special? Visit Little Falls Presents at the Stone Mill and Canal Place. Stop by today to find unique artist work, t-shirts, coffee cups, gift towels, greeting cards, tote bags, koozies, and original oil paintings and prints. It's all about the art of the gift. For more information, visit mylittlefalls.com/shop or call 315-508-5310 for details.
I'm just not as pumped up after hearing that.
You know, I was going to work on that.
Instead, you beat your microphone
He's
off.
having a tough night here tonight.
Okay, all right. I was going to work on that one for you, and I didn't get
That's
the
right.
chance.
Next time. We'll incorporate We Just Scored.
I might have gotten some good music for that, though. I
Really?
did start, and then I wasn't happy with the footage, and I was like, yeah, I don't have time for this.
You'll
I was going
find
to
it
do it
sometime.
just for you.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're going to go on that Zamboni Time Machine, and I got to tell you guys, it's going to be a little bit easier for me to read because if you can tell, I'm wearing glasses. I found out that I needed reader glasses. And I'll tell you, this is clear as day now.
Yeah, but were they prescription?
No, these are
Well,
these are dollar store, but they work so well.
I know, but you don't wear them all the time.
I know, but it's going to make reading a lot easier. It's not going to be like all blurry.
All right,
It's going to be great.
run with it.
Run with it. All right.
It's called an eye doctor.
Never mind.
Old people like us know that, right, Gump?
Thanks for the insight, guys. Appreciate it. So anyways, the Zamboni Time Machine is brought to you by Zamboni.com, and the Zamboni name is used with permission from the Zamboni Company. This week, the Zamboni Time Machine takes us back to August 1980 and the defection of Peter and Anton Stastny to Canada. Peter, Anton, and their brother Marian were stars in the international hockey community while playing for their native Czechoslovakia, with Peter the most highly regarded of the three. In 1980, Czechoslovakia was under hardline communist rule, very similar to the Soviet Union. Living in the communist nation, just about anything from the West was severely restricted, especially reading materials. Peter would not be deterred, as he would come to love the National Hockey League and idolize fellow Slovakian Stan Mikita after reading about both in smuggled copies of the Hockey News. Playing in international tournaments against Western players further fueled the Stastny's desire to leave Czechoslovakia. While playing in Austria in August of 1980, they decided to make their move. Instead of getting on a team bus, Peter and his wife, who was pregnant at the time, along with brother Anton, took a car to Vienna, where they caught a flight to Montreal. Peter and Anton then signed with the Quebec Nordiques, and somehow their older brother Marian was allowed to leave Czechoslovakia a year later and to join the pair in Quebec. Anton and Marian were good players in the NHL, but Peter was a superstar. He won the Calder Trophy as a rookie in 1981 and never looked back. He totaled 1,239 points for his career, scoring the second most points in the decade of the 1980s behind some guy named Wayne Gretzky.
Don't know that guy.
Never heard of him. He was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1998, and his son Paul still plays in the NHL to this very day. And that, my friends, concludes this week's trip on the Zamboni Time Machine. So not very zany, but educational.
Yeah, that's good.
You find a little bit of background about a great NHL player. And
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to have those serious ones.
At least the puck didn't set his chest
Yeah,
on
well,
fire.
yeah.
or something.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
I think that's your favorite one, isn't
it's
it?
my favorite one.
But think about what he did, though. I mean,
Yeah.
getting out of that is
That's-
amazing.
People don't realize that nowadays. Just what,
No.
like back then, what these guys went through
Yeah.
to try to get out to play hockey.
Well, even the
That's
ones trying to
absolutely-
get out of East Berlin, you know,
Yeah,
running
yeah,
to the
yes.
wall,
It's
could get
amazing.
shot. Yeah.
I mean, it's actually, honestly, that's been forgotten too. And I think
Yeah.
that, every once in a while you need to be reminded of the struggles that people went through to do things that we take for granted.
That's
Well,
exactly right. Yes.
No, it's more important to know gender studies.
Well, anyways.
But
But I mean, seriously.
he's like, here, Dave's going down that
Here
road.
we go.
Marty's illegal stick is down the
Here
drain.
we go again, getting us in trouble
Yeah,
again.
just talking about our educational system. That's all.
I just gave you an educational system. It's
Yeah, I
the
know.
Zamboni Time Machine education.
Gonna have the DOJ at the front door.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even. Believe me, if the DOJ shows up, it's not for the educational system. Trust me.
It's for the blue origin penis. I'm sorry.
Oh boy. And with that, why don't we end this episode? This is completely off the rails now. Don't mind him, folks. He has a concussion.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's a too bad that the guy who controls the censor button is actually never mind.
Yeah. I don't have a buzzer. I don't on the panel. I don't have a.
Somehow that surprises me.
I don't. Let me see.
You have everything else there, but the
I got everything else. I don't have that.
Yeah.
Well, anyways. So let's end this before we get ourselves into further trouble. Thanks for listening. You can find us on the web at martysillegalstick.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter at Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast, and we're on YouTube and all major podcast platforms under My Little Falls. Don't forget to go to martysillegalstick.com to enter our contest for the signed copy of Crossing the Line, and also to check out all our new articles and all that. So, for Leo Gump Kinville, for Dave the Save Warner, I'm Scott Kinville. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.